I'm Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to Tailgate Tales, a special series of the Southern Spirits podcast.
Each week we're discussing a story involving a school in the Southeastern Conference. So which school are we going to talk about today, Leah?
We are going to be talking about the University of Missouri, or Mizzou, as I have come to find out they are called.
Yeah, I had that in my notes, actually. So I'll just get right into it then.
All right.
The University of Missouri, or Mizzou for short, as I put in my fucking notes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your
They
stuff.
are 2-0 on the season so far this year.
Congratulations.
And this Saturday, September 15th at 6:30, they are playing Purdue at Purdue.
Where's Purdue?
I honestly, I've known before, but I don't know now. So you Google that while I go through this.
All right.
So they're playing Purdue at Purdue. I doubt many Missouri fans will go if it's not close by. At least I wouldn't.
Is it in Indiana? That's what my guess is.
It probably is. Missouri's not far from Indiana, so they might go.
Purdue is in Indiana, yes. I was right. Hey, I got
You were.
something right.
Well, let's meet the mascot. Mizzou goes by the Tigers. That's just, a real generic term. It's real nice.
Wow.
And their actual mascot that comes to the games is named Truman.
Why?
And the Tigers originated in 1894, and Truman came to be in 1986. And I'm going to tell you why right now.
All right.
This is again from that Saturday Down South article that has the history of the SEC mascots. And here we go. Shortly after forming its first football team in 1890, Missouri adopted the tiger as its mascot. The name is a reference to a group of civilians in Columbia, Missouri, during the Civil War who, when they were alerted of a potential attack led by a group of guerrilla soldiers, fortified the town hall and called themselves the Missouri Tigers, scaring off the would-be attackers. In 1986, the student body voted on the name for the mascot, settling on, quote, Truman, end quote, as a reference to Missouri-born United States President Harry S. Truman. And like I said, that mascot came into being in 1986. It is just a generic tiger costume. There's nothing crazy about it.
Meow.
But it's named after an American president.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, I think, but rock on.
It made me giggle when you said the gorillas were scared of the tigers.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like a zoo battle that
They would be.
was...
Hashtag zoo battle. That would be the name of this episode if we were naming them. And quick drop in here. I'm still drinking Monkey Knot. We still have quite a bit of it left. I love Monkey Knot. I recommend it to everyone. Go get you some.
Huzzah. So you ready for the story?
I am. It's from Straight Dale Brewery in Huntsville. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I am ready for the Missouri story.
Excellent. Well, today we've just got it's a short little story, but that's what these are originally supposed to be. I got a little carried away previously. This is a fun, short little ghost story from the campus of the University of Missouri.
Missouri.
So welcome to the fold, Missourians. I know we haven't talked about you before because you're not technically the South, but you know what? We're going to embrace you with our Southern hospitality and tell you...
You're still welcome.
...a ghost story today.
Yay.
You ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
So we're talking about it's just called the residence on most of the things but it is the chancellor's residence there at the university. And it's the residence on the quadrangle is what people call it a lot.
They have a quadrangle.
They have a quadrangle.
Okay. Missouri, you're a little pretentious.
No,
Every other school has a quad. We have a quadrangle.
No.
It's more of a rhombus.
No, I don't know what I was thinking. I just assumed that quad was short for quadrilateral.
Yeah.
But apparently it's short for quadrangle because I've seen it written out in this, in my research, I've seen it written out as quadrangle in their stuff several times.
It's like that at Mizzou. It's not like
so
that
only they have quadrangles?
Yeah,
we had
pretentious.
quadrilaterals?
Yeah. We have a traditional quad in Alabama. In Mizzou, they have quadrangles.
Anyway, so the chancellor's residence...
This is why we don't cover them on the fucking show. This is why.
You've been banned again. The chancellor's residence is a giant house. It's beautiful. Lots of little turrety, towery looking things on it. But it
Turrety
was
tower?
turrets and towers.
Oh, they have turrets?
I'm not really sure what a turret is.
It's like a machine gun.
No, it's not. No.
No, a turret is like a sentry that sits around and protects an area.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay, do they have...
You've been playing too much
I love video games. Do they have, like, catapults, then?
No.
Okay.
A turret is, I believe, just a little towery thing, like on the side, right?
No, I think that's a tower.
No, there's... Oh, my God.
In a tower, there can be a turret.
No, a turret is... No, you're wrong.
Okay. I'll accept that I'm wrong. Missouri, it is a quadrilateral. You accept that you're wrong.
Okay, it's a turret right here. In architecture, a turret is a small tower that projects vertically from the wall of a building, such as a medieval castle. Turrets, blah, blah, blah. But yes, that's what a turret is.
Yeah, it's got a machine gun on it.
Well, it can, like an artillery turret. Yes, that is a thing also. But that is not what we were talking about, because we were talking about a house.
Okay.
Damn, we have gone on a very long tangent about architecture and guns.
Hey, we got to do something to flesh this out. Missouri is boring.
Don't say that about our friends.
You're right. I'm just really stuck on the quadrangle thing.
I apologize. Well,
assholes.
So not the quadrangle. Damn it, you've got me saying it again. The residence was completed in 1867, and it was updated in 79 and 2006. It is actually the oldest surviving building on campus, and it was actually built on the site of an earlier house that was built in 1843. But during the Civil War, like the commanding officer, well, a commanding officer of one of the Union troops, Colonel Lewis Merrill, lived in the house for a while. But in 1865, the house completely burned down, so they built this new one on top of that. So that is source number one for some of the ghosties that are possibly residing there. But
when the house burned down, did people die in that fire?
I never saw anything about that.
So just ghosts fires again.
Maybe things. I don't know. But the actual ghost that most of the people report seeing is the ghost of one of the president's wives. Wife of one of the previous presidents.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's a much easier way to say that. 'Cause how many wives did he have?
Anyway, her name is Alice Reed, and she died in the house in 1874, and she was, by all accounts, a really happy, sweet, wonderful lady to be around, like hosting people, social occasions, that kind of thing. She was a very outgoing woman, and people were
She was a socialite.
Yeah. People were very upset when she died, and so I believe it was just a few years after she died. So she died in 1874. In 1890, there were several articles that I found from the Columbia, Missouri Herald that described people seeing eerie sort of orbs, like lights, wandering through the house, as well as you could see from the outside shadowy figures sort of waltzing in the windows. So sort of haunted by the ghosts of the parties that she might have had previously.
I was going to say, when you say waltzing, do you mean dancing?
Yes. Actually
a waltz?
waltzing,
okay.
Yes.
So there were people dancing in the windows?
Yes. And like I said, everybody believes that it's Alice having her parties in the afterlife, I guess. But people have actually seen a full-bodied apparition of Alice there. Just pretty lady, long 1870s style dress, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And people also say that she's not terribly fond of electronics, so she has a habit of like messing with them. They tend to move or they go missing or anything like that. So if you've got like a cell phone on you, you might not be able to find it, you know, that kind of thing. And there's also lights flickering on and off. Doors will slam just without warning. They put an elevator in 2006, and it's one of those...
That's just funny. I don't know why, but...
It's one of those elevators that, it's just a normal residential elevator. So you open the door, you click a button, and it doesn't move or anything when no one's there to use it, right? Except this one does, and it will travel between floors on its own, just randomly, just huzzah. And they've checked it, and they've tried to fix it, and all of that stuff, and it just... There's nothing wrong with it.
Keeping loose, keeping ready, keeping the gears turning.
Or maybe Alice just doesn't want to float. She just gets in and lets it do it for her.
She's a super fucking lazy girl.
And then they also said that there is a grandfather clock in the house, and it doesn't actually function. The mechanism hasn't worked in a long time, but occasionally it'll chime for no fucking reason. Like I said, the internal mechanism does not function. It's never wound or anything like that. It just sometimes just starts going off, just weirdly, and it's just really strange. And then sometimes when they announce like a chancellor's leaving or a new one's coming in, the activity tends to pick up a lot more because they think that Alice is, saying goodbye and welcoming new people and that kind of thing. She's a very friendly spirit. But my favorite...
Alice, the friendly ghost.
But my favorite story about this is that apparently one time a professor was doing some kind of business in the chancellor's house, and he saw a full-bodied apparition of Alice, and he freaked out so bad that he ran the fuck out of that house. And he was like, guys, you gotta brick that shit up. It's not okay. I'm not ever going back in there. And apparently the professor was just like, nope, not going back in there. So...
Well, what happened?
It never said. It just said that he was out, and he said, you need to brick it up. Brick it up. Brick it up.
Okay. Yeah, seal it away from the world. Seal it away
so nobody has to go back in there.
Don't go through walls. So, yeah, if you just put a big wall around it, I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. What he could have done, lazy bastard, was just corner it and brick it up right there into a corner so you don't have to brick the whole house up.
Yeah, well. But anyway, and I also read a couple of things by previous chancellors, and one of them was like, I've never really had any experiences in the house, but telling the stories are really fun. But then I also read where there are several other people that work on campus that have attested to the fact that they've seen things, that things are weird. But it's just sort of a local, she's a nice ghost, she's a sweet ghost, and she doesn't seem malevolent in any way, so people are just chill.
She likes to hang out, though?
She likes to hang out. She likes to dance and have parties. And another fun thing about that particular house is that a lot of famous people have stayed there or visited there. Mark Twain was there in 1902. Harry Truman stayed at the residence.
How
so
weird.
That's cool, at 1950. And Eleanor Roosevelt also stayed there for a little while. So it's
Why didn't they name their mascot Eleanor?
Oh, I don't know. Truman Tigers has that alliteration thing,
But she's Eleanor.
Eleanor Tiger doesn't seem as fierce.
Eleanor the Tiger.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But I mean, if we're going by tiger naming conventions, Daniel Tiger is just...
Yeah, they should have... That'd be so amazing if their mascot was just Daniel. Everybody, here comes Daniel! I don't think that's going to pump up any fans, but it's really funny to think about. A little child who just, its biggest dream is to just grow up and be Daniel one day.
I like Daniel. It's a good name.
Yeah, it doesn't work for a sports mascot, though.
Yeah, probably not, but...
It's really funny. Really funny to think about.
You know what? I'm going to formally request that we start calling the Trash Panda's mascot Daniel. Yeah, Daniel the Trash Panda.
Daniel Panda. We could petition that. I don't think it'll work.
I was like, I will build you a nice mascot suit if you let me name him Daniel.
I mean, if we're going to try, Ole Miss has changed their mascot 12 times in the past 3 years.
You're right. We could probably get him to do something crazy.
Yeah, they've got a shark now. They could just be Daniel Shark.
Oh, that shark is awful.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that in a little while.
We will get to Ole Miss and Daniel Shark. Let's try to remember Daniel Shark so I can call him that.
Daniel Shark, do 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 do. Daniel Shark, do do.
Stop it.
Well, anyway, that's all I had to say about Mizzou.
All right. Well, this one was super short.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
He's not wrong. Your stories were boring. Someone that goes to Mizzou really needs to email me, and I will update, and I will tell them all the good, juicy secrets. But I didn't go to Mizzou, and there's not a lot online about it. So if you've got a better ghost story from Mizzou, please, y'all, email me, and I'll update everybody and let them know that your campus isn't as boring as I seem to think it is.
We did not make a good first impression on Missouri.
I'm sorry. We're sweet, I promise.
Well, I don't know about that, but we did deride the quadrangle, and Leah called you boring.
I did. I don't think you're boring. I just think that there's not a lot out there of the deep, rich folklore that I know is brimming under the surface.
Definition of boring.
So if someone will clue me in, I can easily disseminate that information so more people can know about the most wonderful, grand stories that Missouri has to offer.
We will retract this episode and do another one.
Indeed. Probably not, but no, I will append it to the next one.
Excuse me.
So yeah, that was all.
Well, all right. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Y'all listen to the main episode tomorrow where we detail everything that's coming in our Patreon that's coming out.
It's really exciting.
I'm excited about it. So y'all can hear that. And we hope you enjoyed this episode of Tailgate Tale. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Southern Spirits Podcast. Find us on Twitter at S-Spirits Podcast. Send us any fun stuff to our P.O. Box, which is 1743 Hartselle, Alabama, HARTSELLE 35640. Send us any emails if you have fun stories from your college, or if you just want to tell us something fun. Send us an email to southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com. And I guess we'll see y'all in week 4.
Bye, y'all.